Hey everybody, David Jordan. Thank you for watching. I had an opportunity to sit down with world-renowned firearms instructor and the president of Defense Training International, John Farnam. Here's one of the things we talked about. A lot of people want to know what people carry on their bodies every day. And so I've had a few people ask about you. And the question is, what does John carry every day? I think you'll be surprised by this. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure. In my career, I have carried probably most guns you can think of. I've certainly carried Glocks, of course. When I was a young pistol arrow, I carried 1911s, of course, because all the cool guys had 1911s. And God knows I still own 30 of them. And I've carried M&Ps and XDs and Glocks, of course, and any number of others. In the current generation of modern service weapons, we have several exciting developments aside from Glock itself. And the one I have right now is a SIG 320, which is basically SIG's version of the Glock. I probably shouldn't say that because it'll make people angry, but from the user standpoint, the gun operates pretty much like a Glock. However, SIG's version is fits my hand very well. It's a very pleasurable gun to shoot. The trigger is wonderful, and I've been carrying my 320 now for most of a year, and it is almost never hiccuped. It is a very reliable, good, reliable gun, and and one I can recommend. As you know, I don't endorse things. Right. I have no financial connection with any gun company, but I'm happy to recommend things. And the 320 is a good choice. It's not perfect, but it's a good choice. The next time you see me, I'll probably have something else. Of all the other candidates out there, what intrigues me right now is the Walther PPQ. I shot this for the first time at the SHOT Show just a few weeks ago, and it has a lot of very good features, much like the SIG 320. It is a pleasurable gun to shoot. It's got a good feel to it, and so next time we get together, I may have one of those, or heaven knows, I may have something else.
Right.
As instructors, I don't want to identify myself with one product. If there were only one that was worthwhile, I guess I would have to. But there's many good, worthwhile guns out there, and I like to have personal experience with all of them. And because you see me with this gun or that doesn't mean I'm in a position to endorse it, but I wouldn't carry it if it weren't reliable and weren't a good gun. Right. So right now I have that 320 and I'm very happy with it.
What else do you carry every day? Flashlight.
Every day I've got a flashlight. I don't know if you can see this. This is the what's called the T-Max by First Light. It's a very bright light. It's a 750 lumen light.
It really is.
I like it because it's compact. I can carry it on my belt, so it's always handy. And when I have it in my hand, it's got this little finger loop, so if I have to go hands-on, I can just flip it off to the side and do what I need to do, and then re-retain it. Has a lot of handy features. It does more than its strobes and has all kinds of other stuff, of course. But one I like. It's one I certainly recommend. There are many others. I think if you're going to use a flashlight as a weapon, right, you should say a non-lethal weapon, it's 500 lumens would be pretty much the minimum.
Okay.
And there's many 500 lumen lights out there now, and this one is 750. And I use on my rifle, I've got a PowerTac, PowerTac E9. That's 900 lumens, just amazingly bright, and very rugged. And there are many people who may be watching this who are not psychologically prepared to carry a gun. It may never be. There's no reason in the world you can't carry a flashlight.
Right.
They're not restricted. You can take them on airplanes. They're not serial numbered. They're essentially unregulated. And as I say, when you have a 500 lumen light, you can at least disorient someone temporarily, of course, but there's no reason that any adult or most children, for that matter, shouldn't be carrying around a powerful flashlight.
Right. And when I started carrying a flashlight every day, you never know when you need. Like, I use a flashlight all.
Use it all the time. I certainly use my flashlight more often than I use my pistol.
Right.
I like to carry blades, of course, and I've got right now I've got this an Emerson. Ernie Emerson is a good friend, and makes a wonderful, wonderful knife. And this is just one example. Very nice blade.
Can we see the blade on that?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks like this, and this is what's called an assisted opening. You can assist it like that. Though it opens very fast. If I need it, I can get it out pretty quickly. I also have this one, which I like very much. This is made by my good friend and colleague Brian Hoffner, who makes a wonderful, wonderful knife. This looks like this. It's well designed. He's got these edges here, makes it easy to hang on to. Very well made, excellent knife. I keep one in one pocket, one in the other.
Very light.
Yeah. Cold Steel makes wonderful knives. Also, I don't happen to have them right now. And there's any number of other companies that are very good too. Once again, I don't endorse anybody, but I just have a number of very good friends in the business, and I like to get a hold of their latest products. But you need to carry a blade.
Yep, I agree.
Once again, I use my blades far more often than I use my gun, just like the flashlight. So you put, as Brian Hoffner is fond of saying, put your pants on, put your knife on. And there are some regulations with knives, but ones the size that I just showed you are the regulation is minimal, and you can carry one around and not draw much attention to yourself, and have any number of uses for them. Right. It's a utility knife, and when it gets dull and broken or something like that, although I've never broken one, they can be restored and last a lifetime.
Right. We were talking a little bit about flashlight and the lumens. I noticed that last night we were shooting low light fire.
Yes.
And some people were convinced they had pretty good lights.
Yes.
Until we had to throw like 40 yards.
Right.
To identify, John, you said that the flashlight helps us get
the flashlight
information.
Yeah, it has two purposes. It gives us information, and it blinds the suspect.
Right.
Temporarily, of course, not permanently, but you can temporarily incapacitate someone. Simultaneously, it gives you the information that you need to make a decision. Normally, when you shine a flashlight in someone's face, they do this, they turn away, and they bring their hands up. Right. So right away, I can see their hands. I see what's in their hands, see if they represent a threat or not. So this is a very good reaction on my part. I want them to do that because that gives me the information I need to decide if they represent a threat or don't.
Invest in a good light.
Yeah, and my students quickly develop a dislike for wimpy flashlights.
All right.
These, 50, 60, 80 lumen lights are just silly, and for what we do, they are grotesquely underpowered, and there's no reason to have one, in my opinion.
What other kind of things do you carry every day?
Every day I've got a bottle of OC. Okay. This is, pepper spray, if you will. This particular one is made by Fox, which is a very good brand. There are other good brands, too. I carry this. This is basically, it's a set of brass knuckles. It just doesn't look like that. It goes in your hand like this and provides a striking surface. This is made by ST Action Pro. It's all plastic. There's no metal in it. And once again, essentially unregulated. No one really knows what that is. It goes in my pocket.
Okay.
And I have it when I need it. And of course, I carry a spare magazine for my SIG 320.
Now, people are going to ask, Do you, like, I carry one in my front pocket.
Right.
Do you carry one in a pouch or a pocket?
I carry one in a carrier like this. I don't know if you can see it or not.
They can't, but it's a belt carrier.
Yeah.
So
And,
outside the waistband carrier.
And then for a backup pistol, I've got a Car PM45,
Okay.
which is Car's specialty is these flat single column guns that are suitable for concealed carry, and they are a fine company and they make just an excellent line of guns.
Do you want to talk about where you carry that?
I carry it on my belt on the opposite side of my main gun. So my main gun I can draw with my strong hand. My backup gun I can draw with my support hand. But they're close enough together I can draw either one with either hand if I had to.
Right. Okay.
Mode of carry and position is going to vary a lot from individual to individual. One, as you heard me say in class, one of our great challenges is our female colleagues getting a gun on them because of the way they dress. It's harder to hide a lump on most American women than it is most American men. And so this is what has led to the enormous popularity of pistols, flat single column pistols that don't have, excuse me, they're not double column, they're single column, so they're flat 9mm and .380 caliber. Car had that business to themselves for a while. They made the PM9, which was just an excellent gun, still is. But now we have other choices. We have the Smith Shield, Smith & Wesson Shield, which is a single column version of their M&P, and we have the Glock 43, which is their new slim 9mm, and I got a chance to shoot the Walther PPS M2, which I really like. That is the single column version of the PPQ, which is just excellent. And all these are very flat. Of course, because they're single column, they don't have as many rounds as does a double column gun. But I tell you, for people who have a hard time hiding lumps, they make a very suitable carry option.
Okay.
Carrying a gun around, or carrying guns around, and this various other equipment we have every day, represents a nuisance. I think someone who says, well, this gun, you'll never know you have it on. Oh, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. Yeah, it's going to modify your lifestyle a little bit. It probably will have some influence on the way you dress. We try to minimize the impact, but I have to tell my students honestly, if you want to be one of us, you want to go armed every day as we do, it's going to involve some changes in the way you dress. It's probably going to involve some lifestyle changes. Place you go, people you associate with, all that you're going to have to review and decide how that needs to be modified to accommodate the fact that you're now going armed.
Right.
And just putting a pistol on and not thinking about it, I think represents a poor choice. I think you need to think about it, you need to take some training, and you need to confront the changes in your life this is going to represent.
Right.
If you want to be one of us.
It's a commitment for sure.
And if you don't, then, go back to eating grass.
Yeah, it's, how does it go? The carrying a gun every day should be comforting, not comfortable.
Correct. Now, it doesn't have to be torture.
Right.
And there are you'll clearly see mismatches. A small person and a big gun, it's clearly a mismatch. That's not going to work. It may work in the short term, but they'll quickly tire of it. You have to offer people a solution that is long term.
I say all the time, I'll say it again, I don't have anything against gun stores or people that work in guns, anything like that. But if you want to talk to somebody about carrying a gun or anything that they do every single day, talk to those people. If you want to learn, if you've committed to carrying a firearm every day of your life, then talk to somebody else that does that every day of their life.
Yeah.
And start your information gathering there. Not if you go to a gun counter and say, what do I need to do to carry a gun every day? They're going to sell you stuff right in their reach or in their store. It may be good, it may not be, but at least make sure that person carries every day.
And that's a good point. I think, carrying a gun concealed, as we all do, is analogous to putting on a seatbelt when you get into a car. And as you tell your teenage children when they learn how to drive, when you get in a car, you put your seatbelt on. And I don't care if you're driving for 5 minutes or all day, you put your seatbelt on.
Right.
We don't put a seatbelt on because we expect to be in an accident. It's a reasonable precaution that has proven itself over the years to be very helpful. It also involves a bit of an inconvenience. Okay, but we have calculated the inconvenience involved is more than compensated for by the protection it gives you. So when someone tells you, well, I wear my seatbelt on the freeway, but around town I don't, we would laugh at logic like that. That are you listening to yourself? Don't insult my intelligence. When you arbitrarily divide your life into safe and dangerous times, and you think fate and nature are going to conform to your wishes, I think that is a form of self-deception. Well, carrying a gun is the same way. Either do or don't. Either carry a gun or don't. But don't insult my intelligence by telling me, well, I carry a gun when I go here, but I want to go there. Oh, please. Please. If that's your attitude, you're not ready to do this, and you need to go back to the basics and decide if you want to do this after all.
Okay. What else? Is there anything else that you carry every day that you want to talk about?
You see my dress style is pretty drab. I'm pretty dull. I carry my keys on a what's sometimes called a coup baton. This particular one is made by my friend and colleague Masayu, and it's called the D-Jammer, and this is very handy. I use this as a barrel probe, and it can be used as a weapon too. On my keychain, I've got one of these. This is called Rescue Me. It's just a window breaker for a car. And it comes out, I don't know if you can see it, comes off like this. It looks like this. It's got a seatbelt cutter here. You hook on your seatbelt and cut it. And it's got a spring-loaded carbide dart. You push against the window, breaks the side and rear windows. It breaks the window out and allows you to exit a car. Once again, it fits on my keychain like this, and I just carry it all the time. All my grandchildren have one of these, and I recommend it for everybody to carry around. It allows you to exit a car when you can't exit it any other way.
Yep. You can rescue yourself or someone else.
Yeah, yeah, it works going in or coming out either way.
It's like $5, $10.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap insurance.
Yeah. Okay, is that it for everyday carry?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.